Good evening. My name is Brian W. Smith. I'm the award-winning best-selling author of more than 40 novels. But today, I'm not in writer mode. I'm putting on my interviewer cap, and I'm going to interview some of the industry's biggest names, people whom I've had the privilege, the honor of getting to know during my 20-year writing career. I created the Readers Want to Know podcast so that you, the reader, can get a glimpse into the personality of your favorite author. I want you to see a side of them that readers normally don't get to see. So I want you to sit back and enjoy the interview. That's what I want you to do. But first, I need you to do something for me. I need you to take a moment, click the like button. I need you to click the subscribe button. I need you to do it now, right now. I'll give you a couple seconds. You did it? Good. Let's start the interview. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's your boy Brian W. Smith, and I am here with another episode of the Readers Want to Know podcast, the podcast where we get all up in your favorite author's business. And tonight, I am happy to have as a guest New York Times, USA Today, and more bestseller list than I can count. She is a She's my New Orleans home girl, is what I call her. She is from the crib.
There you
She even went to college right in the hood I grew up in Holly Grove. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have with me the incomparable, the prolific Miss Farrah Rochon. Thank you for coming on.
Hello, hello. Yes, thank you for inviting me. I'm happy we could finally connect on this.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I know you're so hard to get a hold of. Folks, she's a jet setter, right? She's a move-in chick and a jet setter. So you'd be lucky if you catch her in the country. So
I yeah, I do like to travel.
yes, you do. Yeah, I'll be watching from afar. I see how you get down. I'm not mad at you. Coming from where we come from, um,
Yes.
yeah, not many people. I learned this. I already knew it, but
Hmm.
I really learned it when Katrina hit. How
Yes.
many people um, that was their first time leaving New Orleans.
Brian, there are I learned some kids in Algiers and Gretna and on the West Bank had never been downtown.
That's
That's how bad,
crazy.
that's really
All you gotta do is
weird.
come over the bridge too. That's just crazy.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. Mm,
People have their own little bubble and they just stay. I thought that was when I heard that it was on like this special they did on one of those football uh I can't remember if it was Carr or
hmm
one of those football teams on the West Bank, and they
hmm
said that, and I just thought that's crazy to me that their world could be so small, but that's the world is a big place and I just want to see it all. That's why I go.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I joined the army at 17.
Mhm.
Never looked back really. I the mind is like a rubber band, right? Once you
Yeah.
stretch it, it can never go back to its original form. So once you
Yes.
travel outside New Orleans and you realize there's more to life than all these wards, you know what I'm saying,
Yep.
and second lines and all that. Not saying that I don't love that stuff, but there's so much more to the world. And
Yeah.
so, but I'm not gonna lie, every now and then I be craving a good uh, hot sausage on French dress. You know what I'm saying? I do. Good shrimp po' boy. So,
Yeah.
and that brings me to the first question I want to ask. I want to
Mhm.
know how'd you go from kicking it at Xavier University to the New York Times bestseller list? That is, we come from a place where musicians have these stories all the time.
Mhm.
It's a music city,
Yeah.
but very few writers have that story. How did you end up going from Xavier to this industry?
It's funny because I've always told stories. Actually, my mom said I used to lie a lot, so I really did. They would tell me, "Stop telling them stories." So I tell people I earned it Dishonestly. I've been
Mhm.
telling lies since I was a little child. Now I get paid
Mhm.
for it. But when I was at Xavier, I actually started writing like my first book. It was a horrible book, horrible. But it was just something in me. I just started writing, I had these ideas. And one of my professors, um, I'd written this it was like an essay for her. And I was a psych major at Xavier, and then I went on to get my master's in psychology as well, from Southeastern. But in her writing and psychology class, she said that I think in the grand scheme of things, you were meant to be a writer
Wow.
because this writing is so good.
Hmm.
Um, and it was a paper on the my fear of speaking in public, and the first time I had to speak in public. And she said, I still remember, she said she felt her heart racing as she was reading my paper, because that's just how much emotion I put into it. And she said, I just think in the grand scheme of things, you're supposed to be a writer. She also was very cool. She was W.E.B. Du Bois's only granddaughter.
Really?
Just a very
Wow.
cool, yes. Very cool, very cool woman. And that was like, she gave me the like confidence to actually take those stories that had been swirling in my mind and put them to paper. And I
Hmm.
started writing that first book that was awful, but still was a really great story. Writing wise, it
Right.
was awful. I didn't know
Right.
anything about craft,
Right. Right.
but I just honed it over the years, and I was just determined, you know, this is what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
So I just made sure to learn everything I could about writing and just stick with it.
Right. So were
Yeah.
you, first of all, where'd you go to high school?
I went to West St. John High School in Edgard, Louisiana.
Okay. Um, were you sneaking and reading adult Harlequin novels even back
Oh,
then?
absolutely. Absolutely. I had an aunt who owned, I swear she had 5, 6,000 Harlequins in her library,
Hmm.
and all her nieces. We all cut our teeth on those those Harlequin novels. And then, I loved John Grisham.
Hmm.
My older sister used
Time to
to
Kill
every
still
year
to
for
this day. One of my favorite, Time to Kill. Hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, his books would come out, he would do them once a year, and it would always be around my birthday.
Hmm.
And my sister she would buy the book and have it delivered to the school with, like, balloons and everything. And my friends would always think, oh, somebody got you a gift, and I'd open it and just start screaming, and they would think it was something like, tennis shoes or something like that. And it's like, no, it's
Hmm.
a book. And they were always like, that's fair for you getting excited for a book. But that was it. I was just, everybody else was doing their things, gossiping, whatever. I was sitting just sitting in the corner reading whatever book.
Right.
That's just how I've been. No one is surprised that I turned out to be a writer. No one who went to school with
Went to
me,
school with you.
yeah, because they knew my face was always in a book. Yeah.
That's interesting. How is your family? Is your family still down there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I live right in St. James Parish, so right still in the river parishes, but
Right,
my
right.
dad's still there. Most of my extended family, is still here. Um so yeah, I come from a big family, a
No
very
doubt.
big family.
No doubt.
So yeah, especially on my mom's side, but we still got a good bit of them here.
So let's talk about, you have so many books, Farrah. Um, First of all, I wanted to have you on just to give you your flowers, right?
Thank you.
Our paths first crossed. I don't even know if you remember, many years ago in Baton Rouge, I believe it was that.
Yes.
You remember? Um,
At that, it was an event that they had. Yes, I
yeah,
remember.
you remember, yeah. So um, I have watched you from afar. I am so proud of your success,
Thank you.
and you just doing big things. I can appreciate it because I know from whence we come, right? I mean, you just don't
Mhm.
see. Um, to this day, I don't get. I don't know if the family members have touched one of my books, right? I mean, it's just the way it is. It's but
Yeah.
oh,
They still
they gonna party and they gonna we gonna have some music second line and everything
Yeah.
else, but reading is not celebrated. And right,
Yeah.
so
I have a few family members that I can count on. If I have an event, they'll show up. But for the most part, especially now, when I was a young author, my family, I would have something, a lot of them were there. Now it's just my job. They don't care. It's like, okay, you published the book. Great. You did that a couple of times this year.
mhm.
It's just not,
They don't
I
even get
count on.
they don't even get
That's
the
it.
gravity of your resume. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I mean
Yeah.
that less than 1% of the writing population will ever have your resume. That's just a fact. That's just
Yeah.
a fact. So it's interesting. Can you remember the first time you were even recognized?
I mean, so coming from a small town,
Hmm.
people were very excited for my very first book.
Gotcha.
That was a big thing. Yeah, and I remember it was because at the time Oprah had her book
Right.
club and all of that, and
Mhm.
people are like, "Are you going to be on Oprah?" I'm like, "She don't have my books, y'all. Don't get excited."
Right.
But the fact that it was in Walmart, that was like that was the thing that
Boom.
people like, "Oh, she a real
You're
writer.
real
You
right.
can actually go in the store and buy that book at Walmart." That was the thing. And I had at my little the little library in that guard, I remember we had over 120 people showed up.
Wow.
Classmates, old teachers that I had, like people were just really proud.
Hmm.
Um and they still are, when I'll do something that's on television. I was on the local WWL Channel 4 in New Orleans. I was on the show. People got so excited. So it's kind of like that small town girl made good type thing. I still
Hmm.
see it.
Hmm.
Um, but also I think you have to be in the industry or just tapped into the book community to get the, like you said, that full, it takes a lot to hit the New York Times. They
That's right.
don't have a
Right.
lot of us who do,
Right.
uh,
Right.
for one thing. So people see New York Times bestseller all the time on books, but they don't realize how hard it is to actually get on that list. So I don't think your average, like my family members are, the people from my hometown, I don't think they get just how big that was,
Right.
but they can still appreciate it in a way. Yeah.
Let's talk about you and that list. And
Mhm.
I want to specifically talk about this new project, Forever Kind of Love.
Yeah.
Talk me through how you got to that because you've put out so much product, so many novels. I would imagine that you have to really, really put on your thinking cap to come up with new, fresh ideas. So how did you get to this?
Yeah. So funny enough, this is actually an old book.
Really?
And remember that the thing that you were talking about in Baton Rouge, I
Hmm.
truly believe that book originally was that's what I was like promoting when we had that event. Because
Wow.
that one is set in a small Louisiana town.
Hmm.
This is actually some of my it's an old series I did for Harlequin Kamani years ago, like
Years ago.
over a dozen years ago.
Right.
However, um, they've just been sitting on my computer for like the last 6 years because I had the rights back to them and just never got the chance to put them out. So I'm just now getting the chance. So and back then I had a small readership. I have a much bigger readership now.
Right.
And so many of those people had no idea that I had all of these books in my backlist.
Yes. Right.
And as readers started going through my backlist, people were asking me about this series. I had it on my website, but they weren't available anywhere because, yeah, they took them down after I got the rights back to them, and I just hadn't had the time to put them out. So
Hmm.
finally, it's like a whole new set of readers are going to get the chance to read these books.
Now, did your publisher pick these up or are you doing it independently?
I lost you for a bit.
I
Do
said,
you
did your
see me?
publisher pick? Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Uh, It froze on me.
Yeah, you back. You're back.
Okay, I'm back now. So I heard if my
Did
publisher
you
pick
probably
them
pick
up.
them up, or are you doing it independently?
Well, this is actually it's a small press
Mm-hmm.
because it was always my intention to do it independently. That's what I did with the first four books that I had. But then life just got crazy and I just didn't have the time. People don't realize how hard it is to self-publish books.
Yeah.
That is a job.
You have to be a hustler. You eat
It
what
yes.
you eat what you kill. If you're not a hustler,
Yes.
you're gonna hurt.
Yes, I did it for several years. I walked away from traditional publishing and I self-published for about 3 4 years. But once I started back with traditional publishing, I realized I just did not have the bandwidth to try to put them out myself. That's why they've been sitting on my computer.
Right.
And then a smaller publisher, Honey Blossom Press, they approached me about that series because they remembered it.
Wow.
Um, and I've been very impressed with them because they really have given those books new life. They got gorgeous covers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just they put them in audio. They're going to be an audio book, which they
Mm-hmm.
had never been with
Mm-hmm.
Harlequin. And we have so many new audio. That's the way most people consume their books now. Yeah, me too.
Most
Me
people.
too.
Right. Most people.
Yeah. It took me a while to get to them. I was being stubborn, but now that's how I consume my books.
We have so much stuff going on, right? It allows you to multitask.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So I'm excited that they even hired the narrator that was doing my books for um, Forever Romance, my New York traditional publisher. They got the same narrator who's worked with me on those. So I'm very impressed with what they've done. I think the first book just came out. And it's funny because I have a lot of readers who had read them when they were Harlequins who are buying the new covers, buying the new
Yeah,
ones.
they want it for their library.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just really exciting to like give these books new life.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because so many people think that The Boyfriend Project was my first book. Because that was the one that kind of like,
Took
set
off.
my career going
Mm-hmm.
on that
Right.
upward trajectory. And I was like, this was like 40, it was like book number 40 or maybe like 39 or something. I'm like, no, I've been doing this for a little while.
But what you
But so
learn
many
real
people,
quick is that it doesn't matter how many books you have out or how long you've been doing this. There is always someone who's just discovering you.
yeah, yeah,
And
oh yeah.
you know that that can be
And they
that
go
can be
back
a
and
little
get it.
humbling too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Very much.
I've been out here grinding. You just hearing about me, right?
Yeah. And I get tagged in them all the time. I'm like, it doesn't matter when you discover me, as long as you did.
Facts.
Hopefully, you'll be entertained. That's
So you were
what.
talking about the nice covers. You happen to have one of those nice covers around? Let me check it out. See what you got.
Yes.
Okay.
See, very much.
Yes.
Like I said,
Beautiful.
it's a small Louisiana town, not exactly mine, but kinda.
Hmm. Hmm.
But one of those small bayou towns where everybody knows your business, and it's just um, it's fictional, but very much flavored by like the small black town
Hmm.
that I grew up in. But it was also inspired by, of all things, an episode of A Different World.
Wow. Tell me about
Um, so I don't know. Well, you are my age, so you would get it. I have a niece who's just discovering A Different World and trying to tell me about the show. I'm like, baby, I watched it when
that
it
for
came on.
sure.
Okay.
Please, baby, please, please. We,
What?
we saw that original episode, right?
Okay.
Right,
And
right,
that's what
right.
I tell them. Had to wait until the next season to, see how things go. But no, this one in particular, there was an episode where Freddie finds a room on the Underground Railroad in like the library
Hmm.
on campus.
Hmm.
And that's what happens. The whole series is really based on them finding a room in a law office that's in the town that is a part of the Underground Railroad, because Louisiana has this African American Heritage Trail
Right.
that was like just getting started back when I first came up with the concept of it. And I just thought that episode just popped into my head. And, I thought, wouldn't that be a cool thing in this, small Black town that's trying to revitalize itself? Um, so yeah, it's kind of like an ode to a different world. But the
Okay.
whole series is a 6-book series, and it's all about that small town, basically using that find as a way to bring tourists in and revitalize all the just the whole community. So yeah, I love the series. I'm just so happy that other people will get to read it.
Make sure you tell your niece that they're doing a reboot of A Different World. That should be
Yes,
interesting, right?
yes,
We'll be comparing the two. Of course, our generation will think ours is better, but I'm looking forward
for
to it.
sure.
Looking forward to it. I
Me
am
too.
go-
Me too.
I am going to, first of all, before I move on, when does that drop?
So this one, the first book, Forever Kind of Love, came out November 4th,
Hmm.
and the second book will be out December 16th. We're actually bringing them out every 6 weeks, so people do not have to wait a year for the next book.
Hmm.
They're all going to have, these gorgeous new covers at a pretty good price point. It's only $9.99 for the paperback, because like I said, this is it's a refresh.
Right, 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 right. So,
Yeah.
and that's just in time for Christmas, folks. Just in time for
Yes.
Christmas. So go out and
Yes.
get my girl stuff. Hey,
Please. Yes.
I want to, I want to spin my nosy wheel on you.
Okay.
Got some things we want to know. I'm about to share my screen
Okay. The
so that
nosy
you
wheel.
can,
Let's see.
I'm about to share my screen so that you can, see what I see. A second
All
here.
right.
Um, you can, okay. So that you can see what I see. Uh, Miss Farrah Rochon. All
Okay.
right, here we go.
How many passes do I get? Do I get like
You're
three
gonna
passes?
get. I'm just gonna spin it about 3 times.
Okay.
I ain't
Okay.
gonna even
Let's
put you on
see.
the spot that bad. Tell me when you can see it. Let's see.
Okay. I see that it's trying. Um, it's saying that I'm viewing it, but it's a black. Okay. Now I got it.
All right. You see
Oh
my
Lord.
nosy wheel?
I see it, but I'm older than I look, so my eyes bad. So it's like I see it, but it's like you don't have to
Look,
read it.
what I trust me, I can't read anything without these.
See, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but you know what? With age comes wisdom, so I don't run from it. It
exactly.
it is what it is. So let's see what we have here.
All right.
Um, Farrah, readers want to know, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh Lord, people who do okay. If you're driving, get out of the fast lane unless you're passing up. That's the easiest thing ever. And I just drove from Florida yesterday, and I cursed so much in that car.
Really?
Do not the slow drivers in the fast lane. Get out.
Hold up. Now, do you have a heavy foot? You Speedy
Yeah,
Gonzalez?
I drive 5 miles over the speed limit. I will say that. I drive
Hmm.
5 miles because I know I could pull off. I go with the flow of traffic.
Right, but
That's
I agree they are annoying, especially when they merge on the traffic like that too.
yeah,
So, Farrah,
definitely.
readers want to know, what's the best concert you've ever gone to?
Oh, that's a hard one because I've been to some good ones, but I think Stevie Wonder's um that last one he did, Songs in the Key of Life.
Oh man.
That was, I
Look,
mean,
Stevie can keep you there for 3 hours just off of that album alone.
yes.
Hmm.
And he did the entire album, A
Wow.
side and B side. That was an amazing concert.
Did
Yes.
you catch him in New Orleans?
Yes, it was in New Orleans when he came for the songs. And yeah, that one just stuck, it sticks out in my head as just like one of the
No, no,
best.
that is. I mean, he's an icon, so I
Yes.
can totally understand that. Um, I actually asked you this as a sidebar. Um,
Oh,
but so I'm not going to ask you that again. I was just it just came in the flow of our conversation, but I'm gonna pass on that one. Actually, one more.
okay.
Let's see what this wheel says.
Let's see.
Readers want to know: do you believe in aliens?
I do. I think there's got to be something else out there. This is like, yeah, it's too big. I think it's a bit it's just like a, you know, humans to think that we're the only ones in this vast universe.
There's a level of arrogance about that, right?
Very arrogant to think we are the only ones. I think they have some out there.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. Um, Farrah, look, I know how busy you are, and I know how taxing this industry can be. So I really and truly want to thank you for coming on the show and spending some time with me. Um, I am one of your biggest fans. I root for
Oh,
you. Um, I
same.
just wish you nothing but continued success and blessings, my sister.
I wish the same for you and that grandbaby that you so generously share with us. I
Yeah,
love it.
that's my baby. That's my baby.
Oh,
Ariana. That's my
she's got
baby.
you wrapped around her finger. I can see it, but
You
I
know
love it
what? You about
every
to make me
time.
start blushing on here. Come on now, don't do that to me.
Oh, oh, I
I'm
love
too
it.
dark for my cheeks to turn red. Don't do that.
No, I love seeing her. So yes, thank you.
She is you know, there is an so Tupac has this line that I always love. He said, I've been really wanting babies so I could see a part of me that wasn't always shady. Um,
Mm,
there is a an authenticity, a pureness about these kids, the questions she
mhm,
asks. Um, and yeah, it will make the hardest dude from the 17 war
uh-huh.
melt. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
There
sure.
isn't anything she can't get out of me. And you
Oh,
know,
I can see
I
that.
don't even apologize for it.
That's your job.
That's
That's
my
your
job.
job.
Spoil the
Yes.
hell out of her, send her home
Yeah.
to her mama. So, um, and let her deal with the aftermath. But
There you go.
I
There you
truly,
go.
truly appreciate you coming on. And
Thanks for
ladies and
having
gentlemen,
me.
go out and get a forever kind of love. And quite frankly, everything else that's out there by this sister. While you're doing that, or before you do that, I want you to take a moment before you go run out and buy all her books. I need you to subscribe, like this
Yes.
interview, and subscribe to the Readers Want to Know podcast. And until our paths cross again, I want you all to stay safe and keep reading. Well, there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Tune in next time when I give you a behind the scenes sort of glimpse into the personality of another one of your favorite authors. Until we meet again, I want you to be safe and keep reading.